this is me. My name is Kai. Probably a lot of you forgot about me because I have not created any YouTube content in 100 million years. I used to have a very active YouTube channel. In the last year or so, I've been returning to content creation on shorter form content platforms. I've been really just missing filming YouTube videos. There's something about this space on YouTube that feels the safest and most comfortable. I'm just gonna do a little get ready with me. You'll see that a lot of the products that I'm using and probably a lot of the techniques that I'm using are a lot different than my kind of preferred style of makeup in the past. So I feel like that's a good place to start because I've certainly evolved a lot in my taste, kind of. My skin couldn't be probably in a worst possible situation for this current event, which I actually think is really good and helpful. I just got back from a vacation. I've gotten the worst sunburn of my entire life. My whole forehead is probably still currently peeling off a little bit. We have a lot of breakouts happening right now. It's a little bit of a mess, so I'm just gonna show you how I can make it look better while I kind of chat with you about where I've been and what's been going on. Starting with a little corrector, which I think even in my oldest videos, I did always religiously use under my eyes because it makes the biggest difference. A little background on sort of my journey in the beauty industry. I was a retail makeup artist for about 5 years. I worked for a few different brands. First job was at Ulta, which is kind of what got me into the industry. Very grateful for that. And I worked for a couple brands after that, like Mac and Bobbi Brown. And then before I knew it, I had been in retail for 5 years. It was during that time in retail that I was really active on YouTube. I'm really glad that I did that and kind of familiarized myself with content creation because it allowed me to really enjoy the kind of content creation I'm doing now at this point in my career. But yeah, I was a retail makeup artist and I did a little content creation on the side, which was very easy and manageable at the time. I worked part-time hours at the makeup counter and I lived at home and I had no bills. So long-form YouTube content was really easy for me to turn over at that time and I really enjoyed it. And then I left retail. After that, I got into bridal makeup. I spent a few years on a high volume like hair and makeup team. And then I went off on my own, started doing brides. All of my time doing bridal ended up being over about 10 years. I did that for a long time. Bridal makeup was a time in my career that I really enjoyed. If there's any OG people on here from back in the day, you guys will know that I taught myself how to thread my eyebrows a really long time ago because my shape was a sufferin' and someone needed to fix it, so I decided that someone was gonna be me. It really led me to an awesome career in brow threading. In 2020, I started a business threading brows. I had a very baby clientele. I opened my first space in a hair salon in 2020. I had been doing it, kind of dabbling a couple years before that, and it's just something I really started to supplement the off season for bridal, and I didn't really anticipate it would become such a full-time thing. When we came back from like the quarantine, it was very much a full-time thing. Like my client book grew really quickly. I got so busy with brows that I kind of had to make a choice between continuing in bridal or kind of pushing forward and growing my brow business, and ultimately that's what I chose. So last year was my first full year not doing any bridal makeup, which was kind of weird, but it was really great. I now have my own private studio where I do eyebrows for my clients, and I am also, side note, so blessed to have like the most awesome clients. So many of my friends see me for brows. So many of my clients have become friends, and really happy with my little work-life balance and little setup here in my little studio doing brows. I do brows full time, just 1 real year away from doing bridal makeup. I explored the idea of content creation again because it had been so long since I dabbled. There's all these new platforms that people were creating beauty content on, and I really wanted to try it out again and see if I still had it. I've really been enjoying it. I've had some really awesome opportunities. I've really been kind of prioritizing it for the last almost year or so. And I'm really glad that I've done that. And now it's kind of led me to, I've just been missing YouTube. I've been missing the simplicity and kind of just comfort of the YouTube space. My style and aesthetic taste in makeup has definitely changed a lot since my earlier YouTube days. You may notice that all of my videos have been privated. I can't bear to look at something like my eyebrows, and the type of makeup that I prefer now is much more natural. I don't know what I am gonna do. Let's try to fix that a bit and use a little bit of bronzer. Okay. Oh wow, that's better. I feel like earlier on in my makeup career, I just wanted my skin to be so matte. I much prefer making my makeup last with thinner, dewier layers, because you can do minimal makeup looks that still last really well throughout your day. I don't like a lot of coverage anywhere that I don't need it really, but I've really found over the years on both myself and clients, the bridge of the nose is kind of very unforgiving when it comes to product. I feel like a lot of product will just kind of sit and float on the surface of it. The texture can be really unforgiving, so I am very, very minimal. Mostly just bronzers and blushies and glowy stuff. I'm gonna bring this on my eyes because I'm really not an eyeshadow girly these days. Love a little blush on the nose. I don't know if that's controversial. I don't care. I think I've been in a blush blindness era for a couple years now. I'm okay with that. I would like to stay there. I don't have any interest in leaving. I do as much work with concealer as I can. Now I'm gonna add a little bit of a skin tint. It's from Maybelline. Still too oily to use something like this all over. I'm gonna apply this in the areas where I don't get oily. A little coverage over here and to blend my blush. I am a cream liquid highlight girly to the end. If it's powder, I just don't want it. I just probably don't want it. Nothing melts into the skin like a cream or a liquid does. I'm still using the Skindinavia oil control setting spray religiously. I take a little on my sponge. I have that one little line where concealer just likes to live. Press it up from there. I don't really do much to the brows. We're just gonna do a little fill in what's missing and kind of normalize the shade a little bit now that I have makeup on everywhere. When I have no makeup on, I can totally rock my brows with no product in them, but once I put like a decent amount on, I feel like I just need a little assistance. Funny thing to me that I learned how to do my brows selfishly just to fix my own, and now I have this whole accidental career out of it. Always going with my spoolie and blend everything out nice and soft after. The way I have spoolies just laying all over my life. Definitely proud of how far my brows have come. I definitely suffered a significantly long era of eyebrow blindness back in the day. The fact that so many of you tuned in to watch me do makeup at all with eyebrows like that is really something special. I definitely am rocking a fuller shape these days, much less sharp and terrifying. But what's funny is during those days, the compliments I got on my brows there were a lot of them, so it was just a different time. A little bit of brow gel, the benefit they're Real Magnet Mascara, light coat. I also use a lash serum now, and I'll never stop doing that. My lashes have never been like this before, where I can do like a light coat of mascara. I was out here putting fake lashes on all the time back in the day. I don't need them anymore. Some things still need to be mattified. So I'm going to take a smaller like detail brush and my Charlotte Tilbury powder just in the areas I really want to stay. Set that concealer. I always get really oily right over here, and I want to be glowy over here, but not over there. I also recommend, even if you have a breakout in an area where you have a glowy product, like here, I still want to just mattify that because I don't need any extra attention on that. And then this guy, wow. Set him and forget him. That's what I say. I'm gonna go in and just take my brow pen, and I just have a couple little like beauty marks that I like to fill back in. So I'm really glad to be back in this zone creating content here. Unfortunately, don't spend a ton of my time watching YouTube videos anymore. I'm working harder at being better about that. If you guys have any feedback in terms of videos that you would like to see, I really feel like I want to bring back some like OG old school style videos, maybe some hauls, some get ready with me's. Definitely want to do some product reviews for you guys. Really looking forward to hearing what you'd like to see. Makeup is always my number one. It's kind of my first love, but I definitely can share a lot of hairstyling videos, skincare. I am an overlining lip girly these days. It took me about 10 years to even try it, and now I can't stop doing it. Little lip oil. I'm so glad that we are in a lip oil place over a gloss place, because it's just a little more hydrating, but it's still giving lip gloss. That is the final look. The final get ready with me. Just lightweight, pretty glowy makeup that's gonna last you.